Hey everybody, it's Rory from A&S Gear, and we're looking at some speed feeds today. We've got an HK Army Epic, or 2.0 Epic 2.0 speed feed for the Rotor. So I have, this is an R1, so the original Rotor style, not an R2 style. Got a couple different colors out. We get still calls all the time on how to put these in. So we're gonna take one of these. Got all the colors out here. And we're going to put one in and show you how easy it is to put one in there and what the steps are to do it. If you don't know what a speed feed is, this is a great video for you. If you do, you're probably just going to skip right through this. Speed feeds are devices that replace the lid on your loader, this part, so that you no longer have to flip them up and close them. So a speed feed will take the place of your loader, allowing you to pour paint directly through and not have paint fall out when you flip it over. Now, with any kind of speed feed, there is a possibility for paint to come out. I've never seen one that doesn't let paint fall out if you try hard enough. With normal play, flipping the loader up or down and around, you won't get paint falling out of this. But if you try to get paint to come out of it, you like sit there and just physically are unrelentless and relentless, I think is the proper term. And just keep trying, you will get paint to come out. But through normal play, you shouldn't see too many fall out of there. So let's put one in. I got two of these ones, so let's put this one in there. I got some a pod with some balls in it. The only two tools you really need for this to do an R1 switch would be an Allen key. I'm using the 1/16 Allen key, and then a Phillips screwdriver. Let's get started. First thing we're gonna do is take the top off. So we don't need this part anymore. I'm going to set that over here. We do need this though. I'm going to move these out of the way so we have a better background for this. All right, so first things first, we're going to take the 5 screws out. And pull the color tray out. And we don't want to lose these 5 screws because we will be using them again shortly. Now what we want to do is get the lid out. So get this part off. Now on the inside, if we flip it over and look at it on the side where the screws were, you'll see we've got this mound right here. And then there's a post that runs through it like this. And that post runs through the front of the trigger, allowing the trigger to pivot on the post. Like that. There's also a spring inside there, and we don't want to lose either one, just in case we want to come back and put the lid back on at a future time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this Allen key, this 1/16, or something similar. It doesn't necessarily need to be an Allen key, but these seem to work the best. And we are going to push the post to the side. Now we cannot push the post completely out. You will bend the post or ruin the tray, one of the two. We want to push the post over so that it is slightly inside of the hump right here. So we're going to push it over, and you can see that it's really sticking out on this side, but it is inside over here. And we just barely want to go inside, enough to the point where we can take our lid and we can tilt it up like that. Now the post is still in here. The post is still running through the pivot of the lid. It's just not sticking out the other side right now. Now that I'm able to angle that up, I'm going to push from the other side of the post. So the post that is now sticking out, I'm going to push it back in. This is going to allow us to wiggle our tray, or our lid I should say, and try to pull it out. What I don't want to do is pull the lid off of the post. It's not a bad thing, but you might lose your spring. Your spring will fall out if you do that. And then going to reassemble it can be a little bit trickier. If you have to reconfigure everything, we can just leave it all in one way and we'll be good. So I can't get it all the way out right now, so I'm going to push the post a little bit further. Now I'm going to try again. Now you can see the post is slightly sticking back through over here. And now I'm going to just wiggle this out. You can see my post is more on one side than the other. I can just slide that back into the middle. And then I would put this back in my box or my gear bag or wherever I'm going to put it for safekeeping so that I don't lose it. You can see our spring is still attached. When we go to put it back on, we're just going to slide the post over, angle it in, rotate it down so that it's flat, and then push the post back over from the other side and it'll lock in place. Making sure to set the spring in the right spot though. You don't want to crush the spring. By leaving it in there like this, you just kind of roll the spring over and set it in there. It makes it very, very simple. Lid done. Now we're going to take our top, and all along the top right here, there are little fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 holes around the outside, plus you have 2 cutouts right here. That the cutouts go where the 2 holes are, right here, and then all the little fingers will go into a hole. We're just going to line it up. We're going to put all of them in there. With the rotor, the R1 set up like this, it is possible while you're working with this that some of these will pop off. So you just got to just watch it. Make sure that they all stay in place. Then we can take our color tray, which happens to be black on this loader, and just push it in place. Now I'm going to look around and make sure that it all lines up and looks good. This one at the bottom down here, when I put it on there, I could see that it was sticking out a little too far, meaning that it had moved kind of up a little bit like this. You see how it's not completely on the bottom right here? So I want to make sure I pull that back and it sits on its post. And then I go ahead and put it on. Once I like the way everything is sitting on there, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put my screws back in. If you're going to use an electric screwdriver like this, I will warn you, it is very easy to strip these screws out. They are just going into plastic. So be very careful how much you tighten them with an electric screwdriver. What I do with these is I will start them and bring them down to the bottom, but I will not tighten them with this screwdriver. I will pull it out, and then I will go back with just a normal hand screwdriver, and I will tighten them down. It's super simple to strip these out. Word to the wise. And then, I actually don't have a Phillips up here, so I'm going to lock this in the middle so that I can go kind of in between, and then just going to do it by hand. And that's it. That's how easy this install is. Let me put our lid back on and lock it down. We can take this. Now this is Reball. Reballs notoriously like to get stuck on things, which is typical. And they don't even like to load that well. And they're jammed up right there. Do one more. With regular paint, that flows through much easier. Reballs are just sticky. Then we'll do one more here. See if we can get through the whole thing. Of course not. Almost. And that's that. That is the installation of an HK Epic Rotor Speed Feed 2.0 onto a standard rotor. We got lots of colors, so get in there. If you've got a lid on your loader, get it off of there and get a speed feed. You need one, get it at ansgear.com.